Hello, listeners. Welcome to another Kotu Classic FPL podcast on the Jollof Football Bantaba YouTube channel. Please hit that subscribe button if you are new around here, and if you like the content, please give us a thumbs up. My name is Chama, and today with me I have Rioske. We will preview Game Week 35 and look back at Game Week 34, our performances and the results. Rioske, good to have you around again. How are you doing?
Hey, Jama. Hi. Thanks for having me again. Third weeks in a row.
Yeah. It's becoming regular nowadays.
Regular, yeah.
yeah,
Hope Bruce will come back.
yeah. Hopefully,
We have
hopefully,
a
hopefully, Bruce
yeah.
will come back, and hopefully you will stay too.
It's,
yeah, it was not a pretty good game week for both of us. I think we both have a red arrow, as you can see on the screen. This is my second or third reds in a row since you've been coming. Is it you who's causing me to have all these red arrows? Bruce need to come back. But yeah, on a serious
well,
note,
I don't know.
yeah, but on a serious note, I think it was just a tough one. It's a tough week.
Yeah.
So, but before we look at our teams, let's look back at the results. There are some interesting results, some interesting performances. Somebody like Gabriel Jesus have a like exceptional performance, 4 goals and an assist. Cristiano Ronaldo continue to do Cristiano Ronaldo things. Alonso and the Chelsea boys. Everybody was going with Mount and Reece James. Alonso was the one who chopped off the points. So let's look at the results. Yeah, did you see any games? I think we watched the first game together, Manchester United versus Arsenal. It was a
hmm
not so great game, I think. But both teams
Yeah.
were
Not.
poor. Both teams were poor. But it was just that Arsenal were better than Manchester United. But it could have gone either way, right?
Yeah, it could have gone either way. But I think Fernandez, he missed a penalty.
Yeah.
I think that was one of the turning point for Manchester United. And yeah, the score shows like how well the teams are doing in the table this season. And yeah, so it was, after all, it was an exciting game. It was a little bit like it was, how do you say, how it's hard to word. Like I was wearing a Ronaldo shirt in the bar.
Yeah.
I think you remember that, and then like I took it off like in the last 10 minutes or so.
You are not a loyal fan. You are not a loyal Ronaldo fan. Where would you take off the jersey? Yeah, he was wearing the Ronaldo shirt, and then when the game was like five few minutes to go, he just take off the Ronaldo jersey. And
I, I,
that Go ahead.
yeah, I took out the shirt when he scored, right?
Yeah.
Before that, I wasn't even wearing it.
Yeah, but that thing is also very common in Japan. When Japan have games like football matches happen, everybody have their jerseys in their bag, so they will go to the
Yeah.
bar, wear their jersey, and then they go home, take off their jersey. That is so strange for me when I see that. Yeah, like what's that about?
I don't know. I'm sure there are like true fans. They just wear the shirt to the game or like to the pub, to the bar, and like they wear it back home.
Yeah,
But yeah, a lot of them, they're just there to like be part of the group. So I think Japanese, they like to be part of the group, right? So if everyone's wearing it, then you'll wear it. If everyone's not, then you'll
you're
you'll
not
take it
wearing it.
off as
Yeah,
well. Yeah.
I find it very funny because like 2 years ago when I went to Epilogue, the Liverpool bar where you can watch like Liverpool games, only Liverpool fans go into that bar when Liverpool is playing. Yeah, everybody was coming with like with their suits and things like this. And once they get inside, they wear the jersey. Once the game was over, everybody put the jersey back into their bag and they were going. Yeah, but that's a different story. Let's look at the results. Any other games that you found interesting this week?
Well, for me, Newcastle Norwich game was kind of a like was kind of a highlight.
Yeah,
I have Burn as a defender, Pookie as a striker in my team. Pookie didn't perform this game, but Burn provided me points. So it was like, overall, like I was happy but not happy at the same time watching the
yeah.
game. And also Spurs and Brentford. I was, since Kane and Son, they both blanked last week. I was kind of hoping that they'll provide something this week, but again, Spurs failed to score a goal.
Mm.
So it's kind of worrying. Like it kind of made me think about how to set up my team this week. Whether if I should like bring in Ronaldo for like for the next game week or so. Manu obviously they're gonna have a blank game week, so bringing Manu asset is kind of a risk for you, but at the same time Ronaldo is on form, so maybe there's some changes that you can make.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Ronaldo
So
is
yeah,
on fire. Ronaldo is on fire. He's scoring in every other game. United don't create a lot, but he don't need a lot of chances to score. If you see his goal yesterday against Chelsea, it was just exceptional. The first touch and the
no,
finish was was out of this world. Yeah, and as you mentioned, Newcastle and Norwich. I think I was in the same situation yesterday because I had Mason Mount as my captain in Manchester United team, and I had Telles in the other end as my defender. So I was hoping for both of them to deliver something, but it's quite difficult. It's quite It's possible, but it's very unlikely. But yeah, for me the highlight was like it's gotta be Manchester City, Gabriel Jesus, because out of
yeah,
nowhere he was
out of
just
nowhere.
scoring goals for fun. 4 goals, 1 assist.
In
Man
first
City won
half,
5-1. Yeah, it was crazy, right?
yeah, that's crazy.
So,
I used to own Jesus
uh
for
huh,
quite a long time actually. I think it was like the first half of the season.
yeah,
And oh my god, how disappointing was he? Like every game week he's there, he's playing. He's one of like the most regular
yeah,
starting 11 in Man City. He's
yeah,
always there, but somehow he doesn't provide.
yeah,
And
definitely. I
yeah,
can
like
remember.
he's a great player, but it's so unpredictable. Like he came out of nowhere, scored 4 goals, 1 assist. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
incredible.
yeah, it's incredible. It is very it will be very surprising to see anybody who owns him, especially any active manager who owns him in their team. But yeah,
Mm,
kudos to anybody who brought him in. There are a lot of managers who are on free hits. Some of them did brought him in because I saw some people, gloating about it on Twitter. So yeah, kudos to anybody who brought him in. 4 goals, that was exceptional. And Alonso, yeah, talk me about Alonso. Last week, you tell me about Alonso not being, you don't see eye and eye with him because you had him in your
mm,
team, and you kind of judge him based on what he did for your team in the past. But yeah, we wish we had gone with him. Not so.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, definitely. Like before I think preseason or so,
Yeah,
or like the very first few weeks of this season, I think Alonso was like on fire, scoring almost every game or get making assists. And then once Chilwell came back, he was kind of like always on the bench and playing like some cup games.
yeah, definitely.
But then like once again, Chilwell's like got injured and he's out for a while. Alonso comes back in, and he's on fire, right? Like he's back in form, like creating chances, scoring goals every now and then. I think so. I think he's definitely one of like the one of the go-to player for Chelsea
Yeah,
squad, or
definitely.
maybe he's like he's thought up there. I want to bring him in, but he's kind of expensive. Fund
Yeah,
wise, I don't think I
it's,
can
it's
I
yeah,
can do that.
it's crazy. It's crazy for me personally. Last week I took a -8, which we will get to later. My team, and I brought in a single game week player. I brought in
Hmm.
Cancelo instead of
Right.
Alonso, instead of Reece James. So if I had to bring a Chelsea player, it would have been either him or Reece James because I had kind of
Yeah.
considered both of them. But then I brought in a single game week player. And you know why? Last week, I was being a little bit cowardly, or I was being a bit,
Hmm.
So I did the opposite. I should have brought in the double game week player this week, and then last week was the week I should not have gone for the double game week players. So because last week I brought the double game week players and they failed, so this week I was not so happy with the double game week players. So I say let me just pick the players I want long term and forget about the double game
Mm.
weeks. But in hindsight now, I think that was a massive mistake because Alonso on 19 points, Cancelo on 1 point. That was a huge difference. Even if
Yeah.
Manchester City play Watford, I think I should have trusted Chelsea players a little bit more. So yeah, I will blame myself for that one, and okay, learn from it, and then move forward. Liverpool, that was also another interesting game. Liverpool against Everton. It was a derby, of course, but it was a pretty tight one. First half 0-0. Everton were making it very hard for Liverpool. I think they deserve something from that game. They played very well in the first half, but at the end of the day, I think Liverpool's quality, especially coming off the bench, the players who came off the bench, Origi, whoa, what a player he is for Liverpool,
Yeah.
and Diaz too. They combined for the second goal. So the bench kind of won that game for Liverpool. But in FPL wise, um, Robertson, 15 points. Everybody is on trend now, and
Yeah.
Robertson is picking the spotlight. What do you think?
Yeah, like I forgot, like I think a few game weeks ago, I think I actually had a conversation with you
Yeah,
about bringing in Roberts and Trent.
yeah,
And at that point, I didn't do it because I think Liverpool was having a blank game week or something.
yeah.
You know, yeah.
Something like that. Yeah,
So yeah. So I decided not to bring him in. But like if you look the season in the long run, then those two are definitely gonna be very helpful for your team. So
yeah,
if it's only gonna be if I bring him in.
yeah,
But if I did, then I would have had like a different season
yeah,
at at this point. But like
yeah.
yeah,
Hindsight.
there are so many players that you've considered before that you didn't bring them in,
Yeah,
and
definitely,
it could have
definitely,
gone to brought you to a different result. But
definitely.
yeah, that's just part of the game, right? Like you just have to
Absolutely,
think about
absolutely,
what you've
absolutely,
done, what
absolutely,
decision.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And also, you mentioned about Spurs. You say they were disappointing, very disappointing to be honest. This is the second
Hmm.
game in a row they have not had a shot on target, which is very alarming. But again, I think many people have kind of highlighted this. The teams they played against, they did not give them that kind of opportunity because Spurs is a team that like beats you on the break or something like that. And Brighton are very good. We watched the game together a
Hmm.
couple of weeks ago, and then Brentford did similar thing to Spurs. But yeah, to not have a shot on target against Brighton and Brentford, I think it's just not good enough. Don't you think so?
Yeah, I'm not sure what Spurs missing. Like Kulusevski was playing,
Yeah,
like I think 60, 70 minutes, and then they brought in who was it, the
yeah.
Brazilian
Lucas.
yeah, Lucas Moura.
Yeah,
Yeah, they were trying to change the dynamics of the offense, but like there's something missing. The Kane combination, there's something that's not working with them.
yeah.
I think teams are slightly you know
Understanding the tactics,
realizing
right?
like yeah. So yeah, it's kind of difficult. But I'm sure they're top class players, so they're gonna find out. They're gonna come back, find a way to come back. Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely, definitely, they will come back. I feel, I believe so. Especially coming up, their next game is against Leicester. When we look at the fixtures, we talk about that fixture in particular because Kane is exceptional in that fixture. But next,
Yeah.
let's look at our teams. How did we do? We will start with your team.
Hmm.
56 points, no hit. You saved the transfer, if I remember. So I think
Yeah.
happy days for you going into game week 35.
Yeah. Well, um, Martinelli, he didn't start, so that was kind of disappointing. He came on the last 20 or last 10 minutes.
Yeah,
So yeah, you got the point there. Son, Kane again. They kind of disappointed me. Pookie, he also kind of stopped performing this game when I finally got to start him.
yeah,
So yeah, overall the points are very low. Yeah, Man City too. Like they scored 5 goals, but that one goal they conceded in the first half.
yeah.
If
Very
that didn't
frustrating, right?
happen, then like that could have gone up to 6 points there.
Yeah,
But yeah, it's still I think my team is still looking good.
definitely.
There's so many, yeah, like these players that once they start performing, they can provide me lots of points. So I'm gonna be patient, like I've always been.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, not so bad considering all the transfer people have in the triple Chelsea, the double game week. You did not go there. You didn't go with the Manchester United players, so you were not having
No.
any double game week player in your team. But you still did
Yeah.
well. 56 points. You did better than me at least. I had a couple of double game weekers, and you did way better than me. So let's just look at my team. I had 55 points, of course, but minus 8, so that is 47 points. And I had a couple of double game weekers. Mount was a double game week player. I captained him. I had Tellas, double game week. He got me 2 points. So my double game week players did not really live up to expectation. And going into game week, like I say, I took a -8 to bring in Mount, Cancelo, and Ketia. Of course, you will talk about Ketia. Of course, you will. I had Sa in goal. Sa 3 points. Not a lot of difference there. Van Dijk and Trent give me 5 points each. 7 and 5. And Cancelo coming in for a hit for a 1 pointer. It was very disappointing. I really rate Cancelo, to be honest. I think after Trent, he is the player to go to when it comes to defenders in FPL because he takes a lot of shots, he creates a lot of chances for Manchester City. But at the end of the day, his points when it comes to attacking return is not very consistent. His points when it comes to clean sheets is very consistent because Manchester City are very good at keeping clean sheets. But when it comes to Cancelo, attacking returns is not very consistent. But I still went there expecting like big things from him. But anyways, that it, it was just a rage transfer, I would say, because of what happened in the following week. And I say, let me just move with the players I want for a long time. But yeah, I don't want to complain too much about him. He's a top player. Hopefully, he will repay the faith I have in him. And then in the middle, I had Saka, Mount captain, a little bit disappointing. He was very electric in both games. He was creating a lot of chances, left, right, and center. But unfortunately, he was not in the goals. He was not in the assist. When Chelsea had the penalty against West Ham, I was hoping that Mount will take it. And then I realized Jorginho was in the pitch, and then he missed it, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, Salah 6 pointer. He was the better captain than Mount. At least you captain him. So Ketia, I'm all ears now. What do you have to say about Ketia?
I mean, let's share the conversation we had before this game week. Transfer finished. What kind of conversation we had, Jama? Do you wanna explain?
Yeah, of course. It was about Ketia and Wakehouse.
I mean, first of all, you had Iheanacho, right?
I had Iheanacho.
And then we kind of had and then you kind of asked me like what would I do if I had your team? And then I showed you the team.
Yeah, and then you said Wakehouse in for Ketia, but
Iheanacho as a second choice. And then third choice as no. Actually, I had Nketiah as a second choice, right? And then Iheanacho because he's not going to play or he doesn't start.
Yeah, of course. Wakehouse go and got an assist, 5 points, 3 points more than Ketia.
Yeah.
But don't forget, Ketia scored a goal and it was disallowed.
He did.
And then he had another big chance, which was saved by De Gea. I think he played well. And as an owner, I am at least happy for him to be in my team now going forward because he played really well. 2 games back to back, he's playing well. And he's leading the line better than Lacazette. Lacazette is not scoring goals, so hopefully he will keep his place. But Wakehouse, I think, is a good pick. You said it when the new coach came, and he has returned in 2 games in a row, which is looking rosy for Wakehouse owners. Don't you think so?
Yeah, definitely. Like at the end of the day, if you just compare, it's only 3 points. Maybe that 3-point is big for some managers, but for you, I think, any point is any manager would be happy to get more points, but
absolutely,
it's like it's not a big deal. Like Nketiah, he did perform in the game. I did see the goal that being disallowed. I was kind of like happy when I saw that, but
I feel you, no worries.
I think you made the right decision. You didn't have Iheanacho as a starter. So.
Definitely. But thank God, actually he did not have any minutes in that game. So whoever was on my bench would have come on for him. And I have Fofana on my bench too with his 8 points. Whenever I start him, he gives me 1 point. Whenever I bench him, he's giving me like big points. It's similar. I don't know. These Leicester players, I cannot trust them. They have nice fixtures coming up, but I really cannot trust them. I just want to get rid of them. They have been a really, frustrating players to have in my team. But yeah, that's it. That's it about my team. Let's look at the Kotu Classic Mini League. Kotu Classic Manager of the Week here. He has Jesus in there. And Ronaldo was his captain. What a team.
What a team. Dream team.
This is a dream team, right? Martinez in goal. Soyinchu, Minks, and White. Trossard.
Wow.
Trossard also got a return. Smith Rowe, Odegaard, and Salah. And up top, he have Ronaldo, Jesus, and Tony. So Ronaldo was his only double game week player. He did not go with. He have James, but he benched him at Chelsea. Why?
Wow.
Why did he? Is he managing his team? But anyway, 98 points is exceptionally good. But why is James on the bench? Can you explain that?
I don't know. Maybe he knew that he's gonna
Yeah,
like.
maybe.
Maybe he knew that his other defender is gonna perform like So Yunju. Like or maybe he forgot to change. There's sometimes happens, right? Like you think
Yeah,
there's another hour or like another day to
yeah,
fix up your team, and then when you realize like the deadline was already over, and like you start to panic that, oh my god, I have one of the players that have double game week on my bench. But like,
definitely.
at the end of at the game week, then you realize that you were making the right decision, or just forgetting about it sometimes help you
Yeah,
or get
definitely.
more points.
Yeah, they call them the jammy points. Those are the jammy points. But anyways, that was a top performance to have Jesus in your team and Ronaldo, 32 points plus 24 between them. That is 56 points between two players. Yeah, that's exceptional. 98 points. That is more than my team. he
Yeah.
scored he scored equal the number of points. Ronaldo and Jesus scored equal number of points, and they score more than
Yeah.
me. So that's all you have to know. Yeah, congratulations, Carrasco Cherry, Ghost Man. He's a ghost. So yeah, I don't know where we can find him, but anyways, congratulations, big game week.
Congrats.
Yeah, next we look at the mini league. Today I add your name on the list because yeah, we want to see where you are, what how you are doing in the league. So you are in 20, you are in 24th.
21.
Yeah, and
Thank God I didn't get any red arrows.
yeah. Oh, you got a gray arrow in the Kotu Classic mini. That's not bad. But yeah,
Yeah.
I think 21 is kind of relegation zone. That was our rule, I think, in a couple of seasons ago. When we
Uh-huh.
say we wanted to introduce relegation into our league, where we have top 20 managers, and then top 20 manager Division 2, top 20 manager, or first 20, second 20, third 20. We have Division 1, Division 2, just like the leagues go. So
Mhm.
in 21, you would have been in the relegation spot.
I have 4 more weeks to go to improve my ranking then, right?
Yeah,
Like
then
I'm
you
in the
yeah
relegation zone.
to stay in the
To
top
stay,
flight.
yeah. Yeah.
But nice. Let's look at the top 10. Sanasar, he dropped. Jamie, Thomas Bright, he also dropped. And then you have Suleiman
Ooh.
Gave, who jumped from 10 to 8. He's climbing up the ranks. Solomon Bruce Oliver, he also dropped a little bit, 48 points. Uh, and then we have Amadou Sadio Bari. He's on 6. He rose above Solomon. There's a lot of movement in the top 10 managers. Pratik
Yeah.
Arola, he dropped to 5th. Andrew Henning dropped to 4th. Ahmed Tijan Suleimani he rose to 3rd. And then Jibril Fall, he rose to 2nd. So I think the only one who did not move is myself. So yeah,
Yeah.
I am
You're
kind
too
of
good,
happy.
Chama. You're too good.
You think so? Yeah. Well,
You're too good.
I have been a bit lucky this season, but the luck is going out and the gap is closing. So let's see how it
Yeah.
goes. It will be very hard for them to catch me, to be honest. But
Yeah, well,
yeah.
don't panic, Chama. You still have enough points. Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully, I will maintain the pace. I will maintain the gap. But the gap is too huge, to be honest. Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyways, that's it. The Kotu Classic Mini League update. Now we look ahead to game week 35. Single game week 35. This is the final normal game week of the season because game week 36 is gonna be a double. Game week 37 is gonna be a double. And game week 38 is the final game of the season where every team play at the same time. So that is not normal. So the only normal game week we have is gonna be game week 35. Let's look at the fixtures first, Rioske. Some tasty fixtures. Liverpool play the first game of the game week with Newcastle away from home. I know club don't like this fixture because it's too early after Liverpool play the Champions League. And Aston Villa, they play Norwich. That is pretty decent one. Coutinho, I think everybody is talking about him right now. Southampton play Crystal Palace. Those two teams are all in the beach. I don't think they have anything to play for. Watford, Burnley, those teams, that is a relegation battle team fixture. It will be an interesting one. Wolves, Brighton, those two teams too. I don't think they have much to play for. Leeds United, Manchester City. I'm very keen on that one as a Liverpool fan. I'm hoping that Leeds can, they have kept 2 clean sheets in the last 2 games. Hopefully they can make it 3. And even if they don't score, it's fine. 0-0, I will take it. Uh, Everton, Chelsea. That one too will be very interesting. Everton are now in the relegation. Liverpool has just kicked them into the relegation spot, and they're gonna be playing against Chelsea. Lampard versus Chelsea. That will be interesting. Spurs play Leicester City. Tottenham against Leicester. This is a fixture Harry Kane loves to play in. And West Ham, Arsenal, London Derby, Manchester United play Brentford. That's the final game of the week. Some tasty fixtures are there. Which ones are you looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to Spurs Leicester game. I think this is the game that Harry Kane can like show what game he likes to play. So yeah, that's definitely going to be interesting. Also, now at this point, it's all about Man City and Liverpool game, right? So
Yeah,
how Liverpool will play against Newcastle, if Salah's going to play or going to be rested,
yeah,
I don't know, but I hope he starts and he plays 60 minutes at least, score a
yeah,
couple of goals. And Man City versus Leeds, like Leeds is one of like the most unpredictable team. Like they can be like playing really poorly one week, but then they can be they can beat one of the top five teams in the league as well. So they've got a lot of potential.
yeah.
So and they're a very good defensive team as well. So let's see what kind of a result we'll see in the after this game week. But those
Those
two
three.
three games.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Yeah, Liverpool, of course. It's early. It's between 6 days. Within 6 days, Liverpool have to play three fixtures, two Champions League games, and against Newcastle. Salah have been playing every single game, and we have been talking about Salah getting a rest. He needs a rest. So is it gonna be against Newcastle? It could be. Last game he also played 90 minutes in the Champions League. Mane got rested around 60 minutes. So could it be that Salah could might not start this one? I don't know, but I hope he starts. But yeah, Newcastle, Aston Villa, Norwich. I think that one is pretty interesting because we are looking to invest in Aston Villa players in the coming game weeks because they have 6 game weeks to go. They have double in 36 and that double in 37. We will see the long view later and see how the fixture is gonna pan out. So Aston Villa is a team that interests many FPL managers. So what they do against Norwich is going to dictate who's gonna get them because usually FPL managers are reactive when a player does well in a fixture. The next game week they kind of react to that situation. So it's very important this fixture for FPL in FPL context. And football wise, yeah, I cannot look past the Manchester City Leeds game. You see, at least have defensively they can be good. Since the new coach came in, they have been very good in defense. They have kept back-to-back clean sheet. I don't think they have done that all this season, and I think they are still undefeated since the new manager came in. I hope that continues. That will be great. I hope it does. But I think Chelsea Everton will be very, very interesting. Chelsea have lost their last 3 games against Everton at Goodison Park. And Lampard is coaching Everton, trying to like stop them from getting relegated. He's going to play with his boys, Chelsea. So how is that going to pan out? Spurs, Tottenham, Leicester. You said something about that one. I think that's a very interesting one. That's your favorite fixture for Harry Kane. You are a Harry Kane owner. I am not. So I wish I had Harry Kane. I think if I had him, I would captain him. That's me. Um, he had scored 16 goals in 13 matches against Leicester in his career. That is the highest he has scored against any other team in the league. So, and Leicester are in the European Conference. They played yesterday against Roma. They drew 1-1. So that means the second leg is going to be very vitally important. Leicester will rest players. And if they rest players, that might be recipe for disaster because Spurs they are very committed to that game. They want to win that one because they are fighting for the top 4 spot. So it will be an interesting one. And final game is Manchester United Brentford. I think only Ronaldo is interesting at Manchester United right
Yeah.
now. He's the
Yeah.
only one who's gonna score. Brentford are looking good. Maybe Ivan Toney because Manchester United defensively they are very poor. They will concede a goal. We expect them to concede. So maybe Brentford can do something. Yeah, but Arsenal too. We did not
But
say that one. West Ham.
yeah. Yeah, Saka, I think he's got
Flag.
75%, yeah,
Yeah,
percent chance to play. So yeah, maybe it's I think some managers they went for Udegaard
yeah,
and Smith Rowe, and there some other managers they have like Martinelli and Saka. So like I think it depends on what Arsenal players you have in your team will change the result. But I think Arsenal at West Ham game is going to be very interesting. Arsenal players they've been providing a lot of points for the
yeah,
past game week. So yeah, it all depends on like which Arsenal players you have in your team.
Yeah, definitely. Saka, yeah, I saw some pictures on Twitter showing he's in training. He was training. So that is a promising sign for managers. I think you own him and I myself. So hopefully he plays. He's in top form right now. He's added another avenue for points because he's taking penalties, back to back penalties. Hopefully Lacazette stays on the bench. If Lacazette stays on the bench, maybe even if Lacazette plays, maybe Saka will be on penalties because the penalties he took in the last two games were very good penalty kicks. So
Mm.
yeah, he wanna be the star player of that team. So I would expect him to keep that duty, like that responsibility of taking penalties. So he's the interesting one for. But West Ham too, they are similar to Leicester City. They are in Europe. They played yesterday in the Europa League, but they lost their game against Frankfurt 2-1. That was at home. Can they turn the results around when they go to Frankfurt? Maybe they believe they can. And last week they rested their players against Chelsea. Are they gonna do the same thing against Arsenal? If they do that, then Arsenal players could be very interesting in this game week. So yeah, of course, West Ham nobody is gonna get their players now because of the situation they are in. They are in Europe. They are not playing for anything necessarily in the league, and they don't have the double game weeks like the other teams in the league, right?
Yeah, yeah, and also FPL wise, I think Chelsea Everton
Yeah,
game and Man U Brentford game is one of the key games
yeah,
to to follow up, because I bet a lot of managers, they brought in Chelsea players
yeah,
and Manchester United players last game week because they had double game week.
yeah,
This game week they're going to be playing Everton, but like you said, Lampard, he's gonna be playing against his old team Chelsea. So this is definitely going to be a close game. If and like seeing their past results, Everton is a favor to win the game.
yeah,
So if that happens, then I think a lot of the managers that they brought in Chelsea players last game week,
yeah,
they're gonna struggle, and
definitely,
so as Man United Brentford, right? Brentford kept the clean sheet against Spurs, so they show that they can be a very good defensive team.
definitely.
And at the moment, Ronaldo is like the only player. He scored like 8 goals out of 9 games in the Premier League for
Wow.
Manchester United.
He's the
So
only he's the only one expected to score in that team. To be honest, to
yeah,
be honest.
exactly. So if Brentford does good job blocking Ronaldo out from scoring, then I think they have a chance to win this game.
Yeah,
And that means all the players that brought in Ronaldo or Manchester United players last game week, they're also gonna struggle. So these two games are also gonna be interesting.
very interesting. To be honest, to be honest. Yeah. Now let's look at the long view. Let's look at the fixtures for the remaining part of the season, and then look at the teams that have like how many fixtures they have and the teams that have the double. Because if you look at it here, there are three teams that are gonna have a double in 36 and 37. Of course, we are in 35, but we wanna have a wider view. Aston Villa, they have a double in 36. Burnley, Liverpool, and then Crystal Palace, Burnley. So they play Burnley twice in 36 and 37. Everton, they have a double too. Leicester City, Watford, then Brentford, Crystal Palace. Leicester City themselves, they play Everton, Norwich, Watford, and Chelsea. So let's talk about these three teams first, and then after we can look at the other teams that have double: Aston Villa, Everton, and Leicester City.
Um, yeah, these two teams, right? These three teams. I
Yeah,
think they're one of the players that you should be looking forward to bring in if you have double free trans two free transfers. Then I think you have more chance to change your team around.
yeah,
Or even if you have a single free transfer, you can still take a hit and bring set up your team so that at the end of the game week you can how do you say, like, all the points you lose taking a hit, you can get them back by bringing in the right players.
yeah.
So it's, yeah, I definitely players that you should be watching out for from these three teams.
Aston Villa, which players will you be like very keen on?
Coutinho.
Coutinho, only Coutinho.
uh, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, like,
I think Coutinho is the is the best pick there. But I think Watkins is not somebody we should. He has not done well in terms of scoring. He has started every single game. So in terms of assurance for minutes, he will give it to you, and he's a striker. As we know, strikers have been very underwhelming until recently. Ronaldo is doing well. Kane was doing bits and pieces in some part in past week. But when you exclude those two players, strikers have not been consistent enough. So to have a player who will give you 90 minutes, of course, we have been here before with Wakehouse when he had
Yeah.
the double, 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 double. So, but I think Watkins is a better quality player than Wakehouse. Um, or Watkins is in a better team than Wakehouse is in when it comes to when you compare Aston Villa and Burnley. So, and Aston Villa's fixtures are looking pretty nice. You don't see any Manchester City there. Playing Norwich in game week 35, and then you play Burnley and Liverpool. Liverpool fixture is a bit tricky, but then after that you have Crystal Palace and Burnley, and then final game week they have Manchester City. So Manchester City,
Yeah.
that one you can understand. You can bench them or you can sell them ahead of game week 38. And game week 36, if you have them for Burnley and Liverpool, well, it's a double game week. You can have them, you know. And then game week 37 is a very nice double, which is at home to Crystal Palace, at home to Burnley. So I think Watkins is a player that we should look at, and also their defense. Maybe we should also try to think about their defenders. Matty Cash, I think he scored about 28 goals in the last double game week they had. 28 points, sorry, I'm saying goals. 28 points, 28 FPL points in the last double game week they had. So he could be a player to target. There are centre backs too. That is Minks. I think you used to like Minks in your FPL team like a couple of seasons ago. I think he's a player we should target because he will play all the games. He's their captain. He will start both games, so he could be somebody to target. And Jacob Ramsey, their midfielder, he's just 4.5, 4.6, something like that. So he does well. He does bits and pieces. But Coutinho, I think, is the golden boy there. If you want to have the best pick, Coutinho is the one you want to get. But I think there are a lot of assets there to consider.
Yeah, definitely. All the players that you've mentioned, it's I think it's worth considering. But like for me, like playing against Liverpool, Crystal Palace, and Man City, they're all a good defensive team, right?
Yeah,
They
yeah.
concede not many goals, so just out of 6 games they have remaining, they're playing. Their three games going to be a tough team to score from.
Yeah.
So that already kind of like, um, you know, I didn't
Reduces,
consider Watkins.
yeah,
Yeah,
reduces
yeah,
their appeal. Yeah, yeah, I get the point. I get.
yeah, and
Okay,
also
next.
defenders.
Yeah, defenders, go ahead before we go to the next team.
Like also defenders, right? Like Burnley, they have Weghorst that they could score out of nowhere.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Liverpool,
Will
you
score.
never know. Like they've got so many good players, and Man City,
Yeah,
yeah, Crystal Palace too. So if you look at the team, look at the game and think, okay, which game can Aston Villa finish with clean sheet? There's like not too many. So I just went for Coutinho for Aston Villa.
I get your point. I might end up not getting any of the Aston Villa players because of the structure
Yeah.
of my team. So I might end up not getting any because this game week I want them for Norwich. That's a nice one. But if I get them for that, then like you say, game week 36, I might get better options because Arsenal have a better double. If you look at it, Chelsea have a better double. Liverpool have a better double. Manchester City have a better double. And Tottenham not have a better double, but they have better players, you know. And even yeah, and you can form a team from out of this. Leicester City have a better double, so yeah, you can have an 11 player because I don't have the bench boost. If I had the bench boost, maybe they would have been more appealing, especially those cheap options like I say the Jacob Ramsey, the 4.8 million midfielder. But yeah, I think 35 and 37 is where you want them. So 36, you don't want them so much. So
Mm.
yeah, I get your point. Why talk about Everton? Let's talk about Everton. How about Everton? They play also a double double. They are fighting for the relegation. I think there's very good players to consider there. I was thinking about Everton. I don't like them, of course, and I don't rate them, but I see with those fixtures they have, Everton they play Leicester, Watford, and then they play Brentford, Crystal Palace. So that double double I think is good for Everton, considering the position they are in. They are fighting for their lives.
Yeah, yeah, but I think this season Everton players have disappointed a lot of the managers in the past game weeks. So it's slightly worrying to have Everton players in your team. Yet, like you said, they still have a chance. They're playing in a relegation battle. So, the players are gonna give 100% effort to try to win every game. So in that sense, yes, Everton players are exciting to follow and watch. But
I
yeah,
get
I
you.
think I think the players are very limited to have in your team.
Yeah,
I'm talking in a FPL perspective.
yeah. Who
But yeah,
players would you consider?
the two players I have in mind is Gordon
Yeah,
and Richarlison.
definitely. Same with me.
Yeah, those two.
Yeah, especially Richarlison. I think Richarlison is very interesting because he's on penalties.
Hmm.
Even when Calvert-Lewin was on the pitch, the last game they played together, he took the penalties, so he's on their penalties. And right now they need goals. He seems to be the only one to score the goals for them. And Gordon, like you say, 4.6 million. He was electric against Liverpool. He was their best player against Liverpool, to be honest. Maybe he could have a penalty. There's some people say that. I don't know, but maybe. So yeah, those two players are very interesting. I think for the FPL, I think I might end up getting Richarlison, especially in game week 37, because if I don't have any transfer to do in game week 37, I might just go there just to have him for that double Brentford and Crystal Palace. I don't know yet, but I am thinking about it. And finally, Leicester City. I don't like Leicester in terms of FPL now. I have two of them. Other than you have the goalkeeper, I think if I had the goalkeeper, I would be happy because I know he will start. But other
Yeah.
than that, I cannot say for certain any player in the pitch will start. Even Madison, you cannot say for certain. Now that Vardy is back, makes it even more complicated. So, do you like any Leicester assets? They have the best fixtures when it comes to the double doubles. Everton, Norwich, Watford, Chelsea. They have the better if you compare them to Aston Villa and Everton. But I don't like them. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm gonna be talking about Leicester players. I had three Leicester players at
Yeah,
for game week 34,
yeah,
but I made slight changes for game week 35. But yeah, Leicester players, it's because of how many games they have left in the this season, not just the Premier League but other cup games as well.
yeah,
Like there are going to be a lot of players being rested in one of games or the other, so it's very unpredictable the way they play. And it's sort of like Chelsea, right? Like there's no one specific player to choose. Like there's always a player that can perform in one game but like blank in the other games.
yeah,
So it's very hard to choose one player to have in your team. So I think the only reliable player from this team is Schmeichel at the moment.
yeah. Definitely. I
Yeah,
cannot agree more. He's the only one. He's the only
yeah.
one. So other than that, the other double game week teams: Arsenal, Chelsea, Leeds United, Liverpool, Manchester City, Norwich, Tottenham, Watford, and Wolves. So let's focus on Manchester City. They have a nice double, Wolves and Newcastle, which is good. We all have one Manchester City players in our team, but we know they're gonna batter all these teams. If you are gonna trust a
Mm.
team to win, it's Manchester City, right? Manchester City,
Yeah,
Liverpool, of course,
exactly.
these two teams. So you wanna have their players, but who? Manchester City now. Who are you looking at?
Definitely Jesus. He's back in form. Um, Mares, if he plays, he'll always score a goal or make an assist.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, attacking was Foden also. He hasn't been very performing well in the Premier League games, but
yeah,
like Champions League game, he's on fire. Defensive wise, there's Cancelo, Laporte. Those two players I think are one of the top players from the defensive line that you can choose from.
yeah.
Yeah, so there's a lot of picks from this team. But yeah,
But the attack is
there's
very difficult to call, right?
it is, yeah.
Jesus came in and scored 4 goals. Who knows? He will be benched the next game because he played the Champions League. He started too, so you never know. Stalin might come in. Foden seems to be the one who seems to stick in the team. He kind of play every game, but because of they have a very important Champions League game coming up against Real Madrid, I think they might get rested. So I am not so feeling Manchester City in this particular game week, even against Leeds United. So I think I will wait for them until game week 36 and see how their Champions League game goes. If they qualify, and even if they qualify, the final is going to be after the season ends. So the final is going to be 1 week after the season ends. So there's not going to be any other implication when it comes to their players. They will all be playing, like they will play their key players. They are fighting for the league, so you will expect them to be playing. But I think you missed out the most important player in their team or the key
Yeah,
FPL
I
asset.
was gonna say, I was gonna
Yeah,
point that out actually. After I finished my comments, I was like, oh, whoa, wow, I didn't. Why did I not mention this guy, De
yeah,
Bruyne, right?
absolutely. He is
Yeah,
on
why didn't I mention this
exceptional
guy?
form. Yeah, his form is exceptional this season. Like in the last, like he is doing exceptional stuff. Like the best I've seen him play. He's scoring
Mm.
goals. Usually he's the player who will create a lot of chances. Of course, against Watford, he created 2 chances for Jesus, and then he came off. He went off around 56 minutes, and then but now he's adding the goals into it. He don't used to score a lot of tons of goals like every other game, but now it's like he's scoring like every other game, and in big games he's like being the key player all the time. And as we know, all the games that Manchester City have left are big games, so you will expect him to do well. But how to get him in our team? If we have Kane's son
It's tricky.
and Salah, how to bring KDB in our team? What is the trick? How to do that? Can you do that in your team?
Well, maybe you know playing around with Spurs player can
Yeah,
solve your problem. For example, taking Kane off, downgrading it to Kulusevski. That'll
uh-huh.
give you some money to bring another expensive player in your team.
Yeah,
Also, like Salah, he's a great player. It's a risk to have take him off your team,
yeah.
but there are other options in Liverpool as well that can provide. They
You
have the
potential. Yeah,
possibility,
yeah.
yeah, potential to provide points. So yeah, just I think taking a risk, being confident of making the change is the
Yeah.
key. Especially at the end of the season, any players can come on and score a couple of goals.
Yeah,
So
definitely. Talking of risk, you take a big risk last season. I know you are not the one afraid of the risk. The final game of the
yeah.
season, when you
Oh
brought in
yeah.
Mane. So yeah, that was a big
Yeah.
one. Brought in Mane for Salah, and then you
Hmm.
went for it,
I
and
brought
it,
in
it and then
Maris too.
yeah, exactly. And yeah, we are at the stage of the season where we need to take risk, but it depends on where you are as a manager. What is your target as a manager? If
Yeah.
you are in a content position where you are happy with, I think it's too big a risk to go there. But I don't see like getting rid of Son for KDB as big deal of a problem. Yeah, I am kind of in that position. When we get into my team, when it comes to my team plans, I will tell you that you will see what my plan. I might not do anything this week, but subsequently in game week 36, I'm thinking of a Manchester City midfielder to bring in. So it could be KDB, it could be Foden, but it depends on how much I'm gonna take risk that game week and how much I want KDB. Yeah, but yeah, Manchester City, to be honest, they are interesting players to have, and we know they will give you the points, but where the points are gonna come from, that's the difficult part. And finally, Liverpool. I think we mentioned about Liverpool a little bit. You said about Robertson. You considered bringing him in and bringing him in with Trent, doubling up with them. But now the options are many, are vast in Liverpool. So if you were
Yeah.
to get 3 players there, because we are going, you have 2 right now, right? Me, I already
Mm.
have 3. That's why I cannot make a move because I have Van Dijk already. So I just don't see the value on like removing Van Dijk for another defender from Liverpool. Van Dijk is a good player. He will start every game, so I don't want to do that. Take that risk. But in your position, you have one spot for Liverpool to go. What will you do with that spot? Are you gonna bring in a Liverpool player because they are the most reliable player when it comes to FPL? That is just the
Mm.
the, the reality.
Yeah. Yeah. I've got Salah and Trent, right?
Yeah,
So the third player, if I had to choose, there's first of all you have to think about if you want to bring a defensive player or attacking player.
yeah.
Attacking player, there's Mane, there's Luis Diaz, Firmino. These I think these three players are the players that you should be looking for
Jota.
FPL.
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah, definitely Jota. Yeah. So,
Firmino
but
is currently injured though.
right, okay, okay, but yeah, then those three, Jota, Mane, and Luis Diaz, right?
Yeah, yeah,
But it's very hard to choose which players because these three are the ones that getting rotated.
yeah.
So yeah, Salah is I think Salah is like the most reliable player that will get the minutes, and so is Trent in the defensive line.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, it's tricky, like I want to bring in Luis Diaz, but he doesn't necessarily play all the games.
Yeah,
Um, and Robertson maybe I would go for,
would be the
but
most sensible one, right?
with this price,
Yeah,
it's very tricky. There's yeah, you need to play around with your team a little bit to bring him in. So,
yeah,
but yeah,
yeah.
I think if I have the choice
Uh-huh.
and can like have the money, the funds, then I would probably bring in Robertson.
Robertson. Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Yeah.
I think that's it. That's the smart move to make. If I was not, If I didn't have Van Dijk, of course I will bring Robertson. But because Van Dijk, like I say, he's in my team, and I am not those kind of managers who just because Robertson is flying right now, I just have to, go this sideways move. I don't do that. Even though
Yeah.
I think Robertson is a better pick than Van Dijk, but I know in a single game week Van Dijk can outscore Robertson easily because he can be at the end of that header that Robertson was in the end because he's more of a threat when it comes to scoring goals than Robertson. Robertson is more of a threat in terms of creating. Actually, that was his first goal of the season, if I'm not wrong. Robertson's first or
Right.
second goal of the season. So you don't expect a lot of goals from him, 15 points like that. So I'm not gonna overreact to that. I prefer Robertson 100% right now. Even if I had to choose between him and Trent right now, Robertson is looking like the player on top. To be honest, Trent has kind of dropped a little bit when it comes to his creativity. So yeah, but I will not make the move. I think I will stick with my three and see what I get from there. Yeah, I think we covered a lot of the teams. Like maybe we will discuss more about it next game week because this game week is a single game week. We covered that. So next we will look at our teams going into game week 35. Tell us about your transfers. You had two free transfers going into the game week. What did you do?
So yeah, this game week I used both of my free transfers. First of all, I brought in Emerson Royale to
Yeah,
Doherty because yeah, Doherty was injured, so I was looking for another defender, not necessarily Spurs player, but like if I when I was looking down the list, I think Emerson Royale was like the most like he worked out with my fun,
yeah,
like available fun,
yeah,
and also most reliable player. Spurs playing Leicester. It's going to be a tough game, but I'm sure Spurs they're going to perform well.
yeah,
Emerson Royale is always there making the crosses, so he's got the chance to make assists.
yeah.
So I'm counting on him.
But
But
you put him
also
on your bench. Why?
I have
Oh,
him on the bench because I have Saka on the pitch, right? So if he doesn't, if for any reason if he doesn't play, then he can come
uh-huh.
back him up.
Yeah,
But yeah, because Leicester, they have the chance to score as well, right?
yeah,
So maybe I think if Saka plays, then he's got better chance to provide me big points than Emerson Royale. So that's the choice I made. Either or they can provide me points. So
yeah. Can I comment a
and
little
also
bit? Oh, okay. Go
yeah,
ahead. Finish
go
it.
ahead.
Finish it first. Finish it first.
Oh yeah, and I also took off Madison and
Yeah,
brought in Coutinho.
yeah. I can see that.
Yeah, so
Smart move.
yeah, those are the two moves I made this game week.
I think you made some solid moves. Coutinho, yeah, I just cannot make it work for my team. I don't have enough funds to move from like any and actually we will get to my team. Anyways, let's talk about your team first. Bond, are you backing Bond to keep a clean sheet more than Emerson Royal keeping a clean sheet against Leicester? I think that's an interesting one for me.
Um, yeah, I think I still have time to switch around my team a little bit, but yeah, maybe that's a good point. Maybe I didn't see that actually.
Well, anyways,
Yeah,
yeah, you consider that one. But I think it's a solid team. The only difficult position you have here is the goalkeeper, because you have your goalkeeper and your striker going head to head. Which is always not ideal, in FPL. But yeah, I think you have to do it at the end of the day. You have to start one goalkeeper, and if you looking at the two goalkeepers you have in your team, I would say Dubravka might be the busier one. It's difficult to say. I
it
think
is.
Smichael will be busy because Tottenham at home they need the win very well. Liverpool play early kickoff. I think it will be a cagey game. Liverpool, I still back Liverpool to win the game. Like as a Liverpool fan, of course, I will be confident for us to win that game. But the early kickoff is not always the legs are not so, it's too early for the players sometimes. That's why club complains, and usually when the manager complains about these things, it kind of affect the players in their mindset. But I hope not. So it will not be an easy fixture. And to be honest, Newcastle have improved immensely since the new manager came in and since they have the new ownership. So yeah, I think it will be a difficult fixture for Liverpool. But yeah, the goalkeeping situation is a strange one. But I think Schmeichel might be the the one. on.
Yeah, actually, let me change Emerson Royal to Burn. I'm
Okay,
gonna make that change.
okay, no worries. Do that. Yeah, but I think your team is looking pretty solid going forward. Yeah, yeah. How you don't have any
Well,
money in the bank?
I think I've got point 0.1 left. Point
Yeah,
0.1 million pounds.
yeah. I
Yeah.
don't see
But
any.
what do you think? What do you think about Martinelli?
Uh, I still don't fancy him to start, but because last game watching, I did not see much from Smith Rowe. That will give me a bit of confidence of him starting as a Martinelli owner. If I was in your shoes, if I own him, I would be a bit confident because Smith Rowe did not do well. Considering Smith Rowe did well against Chelsea, scored a goal, that was difficult to bench him after scoring a goal. So that's why Martinelli did not start. But I think Martinelli is the first choice if you consider the two of them. And it just take the other player not doing well for this player to come in. So I would say 60-40 he will start. 60% I'm
Right.
backing him to start. 40% I am not. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, he will play anyways. He will just come on in
Yeah.
as a sub or something.
Hopefully. Yeah,
Yeah.
hopefully he'll start.
Hopefully he will start. Yeah. Yeah, finally let's look at my team. I have not done anything. just switching my bench. So I have Sa in goal. I have Teles. After he started against Chelsea, he was very underwhelming. He was not looking great, especially in the first. Second half, he improved, to be fair to him, but he was not looking great. So he was on set pieces for Man United. So I will just give it to him. I will just give him this fixture, and then after that, I will just teach him as a Man United player. And Van Dijk and Trent Cancelo. That's my back four. And in the middle, I have Saka, Mount, Kulusevski, Salah, and Son. Son is gonna be my captain, and Wakehouse is my forward. Yeah,
You
that's my
finally
team.
brought him in,
Yeah, Wakehouse is gonna.
Weghorst.
Yeah, yeah. But this game week, it's gotta be him, right? He plays
It's got to be
Watford.
him. Yeah.
It's gotta be him,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, it's easier this week than last week. If you look at the
Mhm.
fixture they play. So what do you make of my team?
Um. Yeah, I think I think you made the right forward pick this week, so hopefully he'll provide you some points.
Hopefully.
Um, and Mason Mount, right? Like he blanked last game, double game week. Hopefully he'll do something this game week. That's
Yeah,
the pattern that Chelsea players are showing recently. So yeah, Mount maybe he's got a lot of potential to provide you big points. He's not playing bad. Like he just didn't score or like made the final product. So this game week, hopefully he'll score.
yeah. How about the
I'm
captaincy?
kind of captaincy. Wait, who you got Son, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, like you saw my team.
it's Coutinho.
I have, yeah, I have Son as a vice captain.
Yeah,
So I was, it's either or. I can captain Son and vice captain Coutinho, or other way around. So yeah, that's I think you've made the an interesting pick as well. Like Son pick is definitely a go-to pick for this game week.
yeah.
But maybe it's a tricky one. But maybe I would also look at Mount
Uh-huh.
and Saka as well. If he plays and he can provide big points. So, but the only issue is that he had a slight injury last game, so he might be rested he might not get the full minutes.
Yeah, yeah. That's possible.
Yeah,
That's
but
possible,
yeah,
definitely.
yeah,
But
Son's a
Arsenal really need him. That's the thing. But yeah, I will not captain him for sure. I will not captain Saka. But yeah, I think well, I have the free transfer. I can make something. So what I considered was, should I bring a Man City player for Telles, or should I bring a Aston Villa defender for Telles, something like that, because they play Norwich and then they have the double following that. But like I say, I don't like the 36 double that much. So I would rather keep my transfer and then wait for the actual player I would like for double game week. Maybe it's gonna be a Manchester City player, or it's gonna be other teams or other players who emerge before game week 36 to get them instead for Tellers. Because if I make the decision now, I have to stick with that player I bring in from Aston Villa for game week 36. And I just want to have that, that space to make the decision. So if I have the two transfer going into game week 36, I think that could be very helpful. Don't you think so?
yeah, yeah, definitely. I think, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah,
yeah,
that's nice. Yeah, I think we covered
Oh,
everything.
Chama,
Yes.
one thing.
Uh-huh.
I think if you're brave enough,
Yeah.
I would also consider Harry Maguire.
For
I'm
captain.
not, I'm not, I'm not, no, not for captain, but to have in your defense line. As a professional athlete,
Yeah.
if everyone is talking trash, talking trash about yourself,
Yeah.
he should be feeling very, how do you say, like he should be he wants to prove himself that he's a good player, right? To everyone, to all the
Yeah.
fans. So the next time he will play, he will definitely perform well,
Uh-huh.
and that might get reflected on FPL as well. I'm not saying that I would.
Yeah.
I'm I don't
I,
want to take that risk, but
are you that brave? Yeah, I am not. I am not that brave either. I think, and
no, but I think he's one of the player that brings
he
you
has something.
points.
He has something to prove. That, in
So,
other words.
yeah,
But yeah, having something to prove is one thing, but having limitations too as a player is another thing, right? And I feel
yeah,
with Maguire, he kind of have some limitations in terms of his ability. He's decent, but he is not what Manchester United fans expect him to be. Because, for example, they bought him for 80 million. That was 5 million more than Van Dijk. He's the most expensive defender in the world. So if you watch Liverpool play and you see Van Dijk is doing that, Manchester United fans, as a big rival to Liverpool, they will be expecting similar things from him. So what they are expecting from him, he is not up to that standard, but he is still a decent player. So yeah, but thank God he's injured. He's not available for this game because he's not play yesterday against Chelsea. So I think that risk is kind of we can wait for it maybe for game week 37 or game week 38 when he's back, perhaps.
maybe you'll see him in my team.
Yeah, let's see what you do. But anyways, I think it was a nice one. Very snappy, very precise today. We tried to keep it a little bit short, not like last week
Yeah,
where we went up to 1 hour 30 minutes. I think it was a nice discussion. Did you enjoy it? Did you have fun?
yeah. I always have fun talking with you about FPL. Like this is my third time, so I hope I'm giving more information, like being more on top of the
Yeah,
conversation.
you're doing great. You're doing exceptionally well. You're coming up with things. Yeah, you're good, man. But yeah,
But
it was fun to have you. Like always, we do it every week. Even if we don't do it on the podcast, we are doing it, in the bar talking about it, or we are doing it at the Starbucks chatting about FPL, or yeah, when we have our free times and things like that. Yeah, but I think today's spot that is it for today. So, any final words before we close?
no, man, I hope you have me back again next game week to talk about the result of this week.
Warehouse.
Ranghurst, yeah.
Okay, let's see what game week 35 brings, and then hopefully, yeah, 3 more game weeks after this. This is the like after this game week we have 3 more game weeks to go. In other words, so guys, there you have it. This was the Kotu Classic FPL podcast. Thank you for staying with us this long. If you are new around, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and if you like what we do here, please give us a thumbs up, and we will catch you guys on the next one. Goodbye, guys.
Thank you, Chama. Bye.